remember this moment from when I was young. A man who was much older than me was telling me of a time. He referred to that time as the good old days. His words still resonate in my head. He said it wasn't always like this. Before he could finish, though, the guards took him away. They asked what he said, and so we told him. They dispelled any beliefs we were beginning to form by claiming that his stories were only fairy tales. We were told to forget, but for some reason I haven't been able to. At the time, I didn't know why they had taken him away, but now I know that it was for our good. Speaking with such outlandish and open ideas was wrong, they say. You see, as my teacher at school explained, if you give the population too much freedom, you create an imbalance of their intended equality. Before our time, there was a human experiment that allowed people too much freedom. The experiment only culminated in a battle that led to the revised Constitution. The government commends itself that they were able to accomplish their ultimate goals without much bloodshed. They credited the elimination of the Second Amendment and confiscation of all weapons as a victory for the people. At first, there were many that tried to fight for what they saw as their right to bear arms. But for the good of the community, those people were sent to re-education camps so that they could understand and affirm the will of the government. There were no more than a few thousand that had to be imprisoned for the greater good of the community. It seems to make sense, at least to the other children, but something in me can't accept it. I had so many questions and no one seemed to be able to answer them. What would it be like to choose what I did in the future? What would it be like to be able to choose where I could live, or what I could wear, or what I could eat? Was there really unlimited energy? Did people really live into their 90s? Were citizens able to see a doctor whenever they saw it necessary? Most of the time, when I began to ask questions, the adults would scold me for having such poisonous thoughts. But the more they tried to suppress my thoughts, the harder it became to hold them inside. But then something happened. I was walking back to the compound I live in when I saw something. I knew I should have just left it alone, but I couldn't. After digging a little, I unearthed a book. It looked unlike anything I'd ever seen before. I realized it must have been from the pre-war era. But even more shocking than the book's overall appearance was the information inside. I knew I shouldn't have read it, but I couldn't put it down. It talked about a utopia of sorts, where people were free. They could think the way they wanted, talk the way they wanted, do what they wanted. It seemed limitless. As I read, I began to realize a horrible and wonderful truth. This utopia wasn't fictional. It had existed in our world, and not just in our world, but exactly where I was. Just because something did or could exist doesn't mean it always will. You have to work for it, defend it, and never let anything ever get in the way, or else you'll lose it.